Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be showing you how I would pick the perfect white. For me personally, I'm looking for a perfect white for my living room. However, I have 3 different brands here and I'm going to be comparing each of these shades of white. You'll get to see how each of them look freshly painted and dried on the walls. We'll discuss some of the benefits of each of these shades, and I'll also be sharing with you some ideas on how the colours can be used in different rooms, along with real pictures of how these colours were actually used in people's homes. So we're going to start off with Timeless. Okay, Timeless is a Dulux brand, and Dulux is the more affordable brand out of the 3 that I've used. So we're going to start off with a white wall so that we can see the true colour of this paint. So now this Timeless is a cooler tone that adds brightness to any room. Sometimes the wrong shade of white can feel either too clinical or even too creamy, but this Timeless has the right balance of the two in my opinion, and for me personally I think it's great for a modern living room if you're going for a more Scandinavian or a minimalist design. For me that would be the perfect white, as it's also affordable and it has very good quality, just like some of the more higher end brands. Next we're going with Fine Cream. So Fine Cream is warmer than Timeless, however it's still able to brighten up a room. It can be very difficult as well to pick the right creamy white because sometimes it can appear actually too yellow. However, Fine Cream is able to get the right warm and cozy feel to a room without being too yellow, especially in natural light. So you have to be aware actually of the lighting, because sometimes in some light it may appear a bit yellower, but in natural light it appears really well, and it can be a soothing colour for a bedroom, or it can work well in a beach house or something like that. So next we're going with White Mist. Now, White Mist is a cooler and greyer undertone than the other 2. In some light it can even appear to have a hint of purpley brown in colour. So it works really well for people who do want to veer towards purple without fully committing to that. It can be a very relaxing and soothing colour, which can work nicely in rooms such as a study or a bedroom. It can bring, that calming vibe to the room. So next we have Rock Salt. So Rock Salt is most similar to White Mist, as it also has a hint of purple and grey in undertone. However, it is much brighter than White Mist, and therefore it is more of an actual white. It is a great sophisticated colour in my opinion for a hallway or a landing. It has that very inviting feel to it. It can also look really good in a kitchen and would pair really well with grey cabinets. We've then got Cornflower White, which is another Dulux brand. This shade is much darker than all the other colours, and it dries as a sort of bright grey. I think it works really well as an office colour or a stairwell. However, I personally wouldn't use this colour for a living room if you're going for, that sort of a bright, minimalist vibe. I would prefer a whiter colour. However, it does look good in an office, I think. So that brings us to the end of all of our Dulux brands. So this is how they all look compared to each other. But next we're going to talk about our Craftsman's White. Okay, so this Craftsman's White is by Craig and Rose, and for me it's the perfect, clean, crisp white without the hospital feel to it. It is more of a high-end brand and therefore a lot more expensive than Dulux. However, for me, if you wanted to guarantee a crisp, great quality white, that's the one I would go for. The sample we got is Eggshell, which is like a combination of matte and gloss, so you do get the best of both worlds in terms of sophistication and appearance of matte, yet it also has the washable nature of the gloss, so it's easier to keep clean. If I had to compare Craftsman's White with one of the Dulux shades, I would say it's most similar to Timeless. So that's the one I would go for if you were unable to get Craig and Rose or you wanted something slightly warmer. Timeless would be the next best thing, as it is also bright yet slightly warmer and more affordable. And finally we're going to take a look at our last shade of white from Farrow Ball. This is called Dimity, and it is a red based neutral colour which has a lot of warmth and a lot of depth, and it really does look striking against white fixtures and fittings such as panels and doors. It could also work really well in bedrooms against white fixtures such as basins and shelves. Although similar to Craig and Rose, it is another high-end brand, so it is quite expensive. However, the great news is, if you did fall in love with a particular colour, it is possible to have that colour replicated. There are places you can go where you can have a copy made of that colour. You just take a sample of the paint that you want and you take it to the place and they will copy that colour for you, and it's a lot more affordable and cheaper than buying the paint itself from the brand that you wanted. So in case you didn't know, that is something that is a possibility. So yes, out of all of the shades, I would say that Dimity is the warmest out of the ones that I've selected. There are of course much more different whites out there. There are several different whites out there. This is just a selection of the few that I have chosen, and the most important thing is to make sure you do your tests, because although a particular shade of white or any colour could look nice in someone's room, it may look very different in your room, and that really depends on a number of factors. For example, the direction that your room faces. If it's north facing or south facing, that affects the way that the light hits the room, and therefore the paint could look slightly different in different lighting. So make sure that you do as many tests as you can possible. However, I hope this video has been a good guide, so you can have an idea about where to begin. It's always best to have pictures or an idea of the kind of vibe that you're going for the room that you're looking to decorate. So start off with that, and then think about the undertones that would look good in that room, and just get some tester paints in a particular shade. Think about your budget, and yes, have a go. So I hope this video had helped you. Please like and subscribe if it did help you, so that I know to make more of these sorts of videos as I go along my decorating journey in my own home. And yes, I hope to see you again next time. Bye.